Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of our trailer analysis video, Frame by Frame. I'm Chris, and I'll be guiding you through some of the more important scenes of the all-new Metroid Other M trailer unveiled yesterday at the Nintendo E3 press conference. Let's take a look. Okay, we get the classic Team Ninja intro screen, followed by Team Ninja plus Nintendo, which then turns into Team Ninja times Nintendo, which I don't really understand. And here's our first look at somebody. It's a youngish blonde girl wearing a seemingly military uniform. She gives a firm thumbs down to something, not sure what that is. Now we get a good view of the massive space station that we presume that this young girl is on right now. And now we get that same young lady looking out a large picture window down to looks like New Mombasa, but probably not. The guy who says, "Any objections, lady?" is Adam Malkovich, who is Samus's old commanding officer. People who played Metroid Fusion are going to remember that she mentions him and mentions that one of his traits is that he always called her lady. So we can assume that this is Malkovich. This also means that that young girl more than likely is Samus, and that all of this is taking place at the very beginning of the Metroid saga. Okay, and this pretty much confirms that the mystery girl is Samus. Same eyes, same face, same hair color. Now, you'll also notice that while Samus is certainly shapely, as she should be, she's not dead or alive shapely. So a nice show of restraint by Team Ninja. Okay, there's a blink and you'll miss it shot of a very young Samus, and then there's a demonstration of how her armor assembles itself. It's very nanotech and very cool looking. Here's the title. Not wild about it, but it could be a hint towards several things, and it might even be a working title. The Other M could represent the mother brain, or as you'll see later in the trailer, it could have something to do with other Samuses, or some sort of cloning initiative, something like that. Now, if you'll look at this screen from the original Metroid, the very end screen, you'll see a line of text here that could very well relate to this. Other Metroid, Other M could be Other Metroid. Okay, our first look at some in-game action. It is in third person, just like the old Nintendo and Super Nintendo Metroids. But you also see that Samus fires into the background, showing that she's in a 3D environment even if she's on a 2D track. This second action scene is more reminiscent of a 2D fighter, and we see Samus using some melee attacks for the first time. And here we've got the beginning of a boss battle, though if you look you can see Samus's entire leg clips through the monster, which is a minor complaint, but definitely something I noticed. And now the action switches to first-person perspective on the fly. We can also see that Samus is using some sort of thermal imaging in her visor, as well as her classic ice beam against the boss. That is Ridley, one of the classic Metroid mini-bosses, apparently back for yet another beating. Now we see Samus using what looks like a speed boost as she runs through these ice walls, and then does a bit of evasive platforming so we get a little bit more of a look at what kind of gameplay we can expect. Nope, not a clue who you are. It might be from the Metroid mangas. I don't know who this character is. I do recognize that guy, though. He is a space pirate, though right now his name escapes me. Big stuff here. The giant monster, if you take a look at Mother Brain from Super Metroid, looks almost exactly the same as this character, so and even makes the same sound effect, so I'm going to go ahead and claim that this is Mother Brain. And if you look closely in the very next frame, you'll see that that is indeed a Metroid floating over Samus's head, so I'm going to guess that this whole sequence comes from a very late part of the game, possibly the very ending. And here we get the first time we ever hear Samus speak, followed by an awesome sequence viewed from inside her gun arm thingy, which is very cool looking. Now we have a scientist in a lab coat looking down on Samus, who looks a lot like Samus herself, possibly part of that cloning situation. Now, on the computer screen, this is the biggest hint that there may be some sort of cloning going on here. We can't read the password, sadly, so we don't know if that's Justin Bailey or not. But the top of the screen reads, Living Body Arms Development Lab. This could be where Samus receives not only her armor and Zero's suit, but where she was created. Samus telling us her name in a somewhat robotic voice. There's just something about the way this sequence is shot that makes me wonder if there aren't, up to 3 Samuses in the room during this scene. It's pure speculation, I know, but that's just the vibe I get, that there's something going on with cloning here. Okay, now clearly we have the release year here of 2010, but if you look closely at the top, you've got your ammo count, which does say 325. That could have just been something that they forgot to take out or something that they didn't even think about, but it also could mean that March 25th is the expected release date. This one's totally speculation, but worth mentioning anyway. Well, that's it for Metroid Other M. Whatever's going on in that second half of that trailer has me totally intrigued for this game, and I cannot wait to dive deeper into the backstory of Samus. Be sure to check out gamervision.com for more installments of Frame by Frame, and thanks for watching.